mean it, Eve. I'll make everything all right for you.
I appreciate it, Julian, very much. But I don't even think you, the great Julian Crane, are going to be able to do anything about this life. It's in such a shambles. Simone hates her sister. TC is devastated because Whitney chose Chad instead of her family. Of course, then there's my pit bull of a sister.
But what about Chad? I mean, he seems to be a nice enough fellow. Why does TC hate him so much? He's been a good friend to Ethan, standing up to him when Ethan learned he wasn't a true Crane. I admire Chad for that.
Do you know that Chad saved Whitney's life not once but twice, and that he got shot protecting me, and still TC thinks he's nothing but a street punk?
Well, Chad may have come from the streets, but that's a far cry from where he's ended up. He seems to be doing a remarkable job breathing new life into the old Crane recording studio. Musicians as far away as Boston have been booking time there. It seems to me Chad's on the fast track to success.
And despite the current situation with Whitney and Chad, I've always admired that kid's drive and ambition.
He rather reminds me of someone I know.
Who?
Truth be told, Chad seems very much like a Crane.
Really? So Chad reminds you of a Crane?
Yes, I mean, not the way he looks, of course, but the way he acts, his whole demeanor.
Well, I don't see it, Julian. I don't think he's like a Crane at all. He's honest and he's decent and he's even noble at times.
Oh, well, he's also driven and ambitious, and I don't think he lets anything get in the way of what he wants. And that, my dear Eve, is a true mark of a Crane. Besides, there's something that's familiar about it. Maybe that's why TC hates Chad so much, because Chad reminds him of me.
Maybe.
I couldn't think of anyone TC would hate more than a younger version of me. Oh, my God.
What?
There couldn't be. You know that fog-induced vision that you had that our baby didn't die but was stolen from the hospital? I know it's totally insane, but could Chad Harris be our son? I know it's rather far-fetched, but you think that Chad Harris could be our son?
Julian, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought the same thing for a while.
You did?
I was all but convinced of it.
That Chad was the very baby that you thought was stolen from the hospital?
Oh, my sweet darling. Oh, you are such a beautiful boy. Yes, you are. And you're all right. Oh, my baby's fine. Julian? Is that you? Who are you? Who are you? What are you doing? Stop it! No! Please, somebody! Help! He's taking my baby! No! My baby! My baby! No!
Imagine having our son, a baby conceived in love, back with us again. Nothing would give me greater joy than to be father to our son.
Julian. Chad's not our son.
How do you know for certain?
I gave him a paternity test.
You did when?
It was a while ago. He asked me to do it, and between my curiosity and feeling sorry for him, I couldn't refuse. Remember, he only came here because he thought that he might have been born in Harmony.
Oh, right, there was something about some old newspaper clipping that he found that...
That led him to Orville.
Oh. blasted bird statue. I shudder to think of the mayhem that ensued of the two of us searching the town dump for that bird that supposedly held the pictures of us making love.
Well, the point is that Chad never learned anything from Oracle.
Or from your friend, Crystal. She was mistaken for Sheridan and killed before she could tell Chad what she knew about his parents.
It was right after that that I ran Chad's DNA against everyone who had been a patient in the hospital, including you and I. It came back no match. He's not our son. And you look so sad, Julian.
Indeed. I know it's most likely that our son died at birth, as the hospital said, but if he were alive, if the vision you had was true, I mean, if he had been spirited away from the hospital that night to be raised somewhere else by someone else, how I would love to meet him, to get to know him, to be close to a part of you.
Really?
Really? I didn't tell you this before, but when you first told me that you thought our baby had been stolen from the hospital, I was deeply affected, so much so that I tried to learn the truth. I hired a private detective to find our son.
You did? Well, what did he find out? Did he find our baby?
I'm sorry, Eve, but the detective I hired failed to find our son. I even dared to confront Father about it. I asked him point blank if your memory was true. My baby hadn't died. In fact, it lived. He was kidnapped from the hospital as you helplessly looked on, and he swore that he knew nothing about it.
Wow. We both know how trustworthy Alistair is. You know he would do anything to keep a black crane from cropping up and tainting your family's blue blood.
Even so, even though we both would love it if our son was still alive, and God knows I would, I honestly don't think that he is.
Please don't say that.
I put a lot into trying to find our son when you first told me of your memory. The man I hired was given unlimited resources and couldn't find a thing. If our son is still alive, it's as if he's vanished off the face of the earth. I honestly don't know what else to do or where to look. I'm so sorry, Eve. I know how much you want your wish that our son was still alive to be true, and so do I, but I'm afraid that he's as dead to us as our past is.
Past, Julian, you know that no one could ever find out about it. God only knows what TC would do if he knew that we'd had an affair, that I'd had your baby.
TC will not find out about our past, just as he won't find out about the traffic accident this evening, or that we're here together now. I've taken care of everything.
I hope so. You know what a terrible temper he has.
Oh, yes, I know. We've met. He'd no doubt kill us both if he found out about anything that had happened.
Hope Eve is okay. There's Eve. She's with Julian Crane?